just gave me.
Okay, let's shift to this other case. There is a case out of Hawaii that I think a lot of people in the country have been watching closely. It's an attempted murder case. It's this prominent doctor over there who, according to prosecutors in this case, literally tried to kill his wife by pushing her off a trail. Not successfully, picks up a rock and tries to beat her. This seems like it would be a kind of a slam dunk case for the prosecution, but I know you've been looking into it closely. What's your take?
Yeah, it seems like that on paper, but what came out at trial was actually that there are a lot of holes in the victim's story. So, let's kind of go through them. Now, the injuries to her head were largely superficial, obviously very bloody, and that's what happens because you have so many capillaries around your head that anything that gets cut, there's just blood everywhere.
Yeah.
But she did not have a traumatic brain injury, and she did not have a concussion. But she later told her personal doctor to put in his diagnosis that there was, even though there wasn't. So she's trying to make it seem worse than it actually is. Second, she said that her husband, the doctor, tried to stab her with a syringe that he had in his fanny pack. The problem is that there were two witnesses who showed up about halfway through what was going on. They never saw a syringe, they never saw a fanny pack with any type of medication, and they were both nurses, okay? And then the two eyewitnesses, the nurses, they only saw the aftermath. They saw, they came in when the doctor was on top of her and hit her once, okay? And her injury was consistent with being hit once or twice. But she told investigators that she was hit 8 to 10 times. Now, what the doctor is saying is that she's the one that attacked him because she was having an affair. An emotional affair with a coworker, and he discovered this. And there was also a $1.5 million life insurance policy that he had that would benefit her if he died. So she would have a financial windfall if he would have died. So there's a lot of circumstantial evidence here to determine who had the intent to kill, who had the motive to kill, and it's not as cut and dry as what the pictures and some of the media is trying to make it out.
Well, this is the problem with media coverage on cases, and this is why we like to bring Josh